me, now you got to check and say, okay, why can't I commit to anything?
All right, good stuff. All right, so now ending off on that good note, we're going to go into the final segment for the day, game time. All right, so today's game time is titled Ready to Mingle. I'm going to name a few scenarios, and the dating coach and reality expert is going to give us what would his suggestion be to the person who this happened to. All right, you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so the first one. What would you suggest to someone who recently just got out of a bad relationship with someone who they've been with 5+ years?
Oh man, take the time to heal. Take the time to heal and self-assess. To me, if you go from relationship to relationship without learning anything because you didn't take the time to self-reflect, you're just doomed to repeat the next pattern, right? So for me, take time to yourself to self-reflect and heal.
All right, second one. What would you suggest to someone who wants to date someone via the internet that they never met in person?
They never met in person. Are if they're meeting someone on the internet, that's okay. But I always coach my client to get in person quicker, sooner than later, right? So if you're never going to meet the person, then what's the point? You know what I mean? But to me, meeting people on the internet is perfectly fine. Just get in person sooner than later.
Okay. What would you suggest to someone who constantly told you about someone who did them horrible and terrible in a relationship? They finally broke up with the person, and then the person comes back 8 months later claiming to be different and has shown signs that they have changed.
Yeah, I would say be patient. I would say, remember, it's okay to introduce someone back into your life, but you have to look for the behaviors and see if they really have changed them consistently. Can you really trust it? And to me, it's okay to give people a chance. I'm okay with that. But you have to look and see if they really changed their patterns of behavior. And that takes time for it to come out. But if you immediately jump back into it like it was, having, getting busy all the time and having the same patterns, nah.
And that's good too, because the thing with them patterns, the person, they're gonna show themselves eventually. And sometimes people be showing you, but you be ignoring it.
Yeah, especially when you are blinded by lust.
What would you tell somebody, one of your clients who wants to get back out there dating, but they're insecure about their significant weight gain? What would you say?
I would say they need to go lose weight. That's what I would say. I would say they need to go get themselves together, have a plan, get to a goal weight, and then go date. Because you and I both know when people don't feel good about themselves on the dating scene, they make sacrifices, they settle, right? And they tend to project their insecurities on other people as well. So a confident person is a sexy person, right? So if you're not confident, you're gonna attract people that prey on that lack of confidence. So go lose some weight.
All right, and that's the thing too. I feel like a lot of people, we had the episode a few weeks ago about how to bounce back after that grown man, grown woman weight kicks in. And it's funny because in that episode, I told my guest at the time what my mama said, because I told my mama, I said, that grown man, grown woman weight. She said, well, y'all too young for that. That don't come to like mid-30s. I said, no, not this generation. Because there's people, I'm 28. These people, grown man weight was kicking in 25. Because see, me, I went down, they went up. And I'm like,
yeah.
What is y'all doing? But then
it's that post-college weight, man.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I thank God. All right. And the final one. What would you tell somebody who says they just got out of a bad marriage and they're wanting to date and they interested in entertaining someone who also got out of a bad marriage? So maybe within 6 to 7 months of that bad marriage.
I tell them they got to take their time. Because a lot of times what happens, right, is you think you're okay until you're put back in situations where you can be triggered again. Okay. And so if you got out of that relationship and you never went, maybe you did some therapy, some counseling, something to understand the whys behind things, you're going to repeat the same patterns. Okay. So for me, I would say you need to be really patient with meeting people and with yourself, because you almost coming out of a bad marriage, you have to reintroduce yourself to yourself.
Yeah.
And so the person you were in that marriage is not going to be the same person you are as single. So you got to figure out who that person is. So you got to take your time and really, really self-assess.